5, 4, 3, 2. I don't know why I'm dancing. 1. I'm like popping over here.
I was too.
Oh, here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Skip Happens. We are live. We are live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're live, we're here.
In life.
In life, and we're live. And, that's the music I usually use in the beginning. Wait a minute. Let me do something a little different here. Ladies and gentlemen.
Really bob your head.
Do you know this song?
No, never heard it. I only wrote it.
Yeah, exactly. Only wrote it.
Yeah.
Only sings it. That's all. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Katlyn Lowe.
Yes.
Listen, we're going to listen to this for a second.
Okay. It's easy to get caught up in.
And I still remember like it was yesterday. Look I saw in your eyes would always be engraved in my mind. Wish I'd known.
There it is.
It was gonna be the last time.
That is the latest single from this young lady. On my left, your right, as you're looking at your computer screen or your smart TV or whatever it may be. But it's Katlyn Lowe, everybody. Katlyn,
Hey.
how are you?
I'm doing great.
It's been all of a couple of hours since the radio station.
Yeah, I was like, I've had like a good day just hanging out with y'all. It's just my day here in Syracuse. You know?
You got a good dose of the Syracuse today.
Yeah.
Hey, you ate over at Core.
I did. It was amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
See, you guys don't have anything like that in Nashville, do
Well, we have a lot of healthy options, but it's when you're on the road and traveling, it's really hard to find healthy options and things that keep your body running without feeling just groggy all the time.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know. I mean, you're on what they call a radio tour,
Yes.
which you hit up a lot of radio stations. You go in and you introduce yourself. You get them to play your music. You kind of, you're hoping that everybody's going to like it and get you on the radio. And I know we did.
Yeah.
And
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
helpful.
But city to city, town to town, restaurant to restaurant,
Yeah.
drive-through to drive-through. In a hurry and all that. But
yeah.
So tell me a little bit. I know we went over this a lot today on the air, but if you weren't listening this afternoon, tell me a little bit about Katlyn Lowe.
Well, I was born in Rochester, New York, as I said earlier today, but so I was raised pretty much, I moved at the age of 8 with my family down to Jacksonville, Florida. And so I was pretty much raised there. And then about the age of, I think, 21, 22, I moved to Nashville, Tennessee to pursue a songwriting and singing career. So ever since then, pretty much been going full force at it. And I told you a little bit about going into my childhood home yesterday.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
That was in Rochester.
Yes.
You said you left there at the age of 8.
I did. And I hadn't been back since the age of 8. And
I mean, what gave you the guts to go and knock on that door and say, I used to live here. Do you mind if I come in and take a look at your house?
Honestly, it's been on my bucket list to go back to my childhood home for a very long time. And I pretty much set in my mind that I was going to try to do it this year. And it's different when everyone else thinks you're crazy. And all your friends and family are like, don't go and knock on some random person's door. Like, you don't know what, first of all, you don't know what type of person you're knocking on
that's
their
what
door.
I said to you today.
Yeah,
I go, what are you, nuts?
So my friend that's playing guitar and she's on the radio tour with me, she stayed in the car. And so I just was like, if I don't do this, I'm going to regret it. How often do I get up here? And so while I was here, instead of making a separate trip, we had some time yesterday, which is very rare. And so I went and I just knocked on the door and this guy opens the door and apparently him and his wife had done that before. Gone and knocked on their
What are the
childhood
chances of running into somebody that's actually done that before?
Yeah, and I don't know.
I think that's so cool, though. I've heard of people driving by their old homes or where they grew
up. That was the plan originally.
But then to get out of the car and go and knock on the door.
Yeah, it was an interesting thing. And I knew at the time I was doing it, I was aware of my surroundings and like, okay, this person's probably not going to let me in. And if they do, I don't know how weird of a situation this is.
You're probably like telling Sean in the car saying, just keep an eye on me.
Well, yeah, I was like, if I'm not back out in 10 minutes or you don't hear from me in like 5 minutes. Yeah, so I basically sent her within like 5 minutes. I sent her a text. I was like, hey, we're good. They let me in. You want to come in? She's like, no, I'm good. I was like, all right. So she just stayed out in the car. Yeah.
I would love to do that.
You should.
But no, they'd look at me and slam the door. I have no
I mean,
idea.
it probably was
What a
easier
great idea,
that
though.
I'm like a young.
Yeah, I mean, you're very pretty, young, blonde. I mean, you've got everything going for you.
Well, and I had facts about the house.
Yeah, that does help.
Yeah, that normal, like if you hadn't lived there, you wouldn't know those things.
So and so lived across the street.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. And hey, there's a basement with a pole in it. That stuff like that. It's like you wouldn't.
hung out as kids.
Yeah.
You and your sister, you said earlier, right?
Yeah,
You
my
guys-
sister, and then
yeah.
my brother was born in that house. So
Oh, how cool.
Yeah,
Then you got up and went to Florida, and then here you are living in Nashville, Tennessee.
yeah, good
Making
times.
records.
Yeah, it's insane.
How cool is that, though? You're living your dream.
I know.
It's Katlyn Lowe. Overall, though, how many years have you been doing this? I know
Oh,
you're still
goodness.
really young, but usually you start at a young
Yeah,
age.
well, I started singing before I started writing and performing. So I started singing when I was like, we have videos as far back as 4 and 5 years
Were
old.
you like
singing.
in school plays or singing with the church choir?
I wasn't. I was very much a closet singer at first. I would sing when my parents would leave my sister and I, like with a babysitter or something while they worked. Her and I would just sing all day for as many hours as we could. And we'd put on shows for the neighborhood. And that was the extent of my performing.
Is your sister performing anywhere?
No,
or does
she
So
can
you're like,
sing.
oh, she can't.
She can
Oh,
sing.
she can.
Yes.
Okay.
She was actually one of the people that got me into it in the first place because I always thought she was better than me when we were growing up. And she was. Let's just be honest. She was. And so, but as time went on, I just had a huge passion for it and a drive, and I just kept going full force at it and started performing at the age of 12. So the very first time I sang anywhere, I was on an American Legion stage with my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And we sang Let Her Rip by the Dixie Chicks.
Oh,
and
wow.
It was awesome because she didn't know any of the words. But I refused to get up there without anyone. And so I finally did. And then the minute I was on the stage, I was like, all right, move, Grandma. I got this.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was awesome. And it's been
So
nonstop.
your
since.
sister doesn't do this at all then?
No, she sings on her own. And
Yeah.
I think she writes really well
Okay,
as far as
okay.
poetry and stuff. But she just hasn't pursued it as much. So.
She's got something else going.
Yeah,
so,
she has a
yeah.
pretty great. She's so
'Cause
many
I let
talents.
my other sister take
She
care
just
of
has a lot of talents, so it's hard to
awesome.
pick one when you
How
have
close
a
are you two?
lot. We're extremely close. So age-wise or just in general?
Well,
age-wise, we're like 2 years apart, and
okay.
then
in general, do you guys
in
keep
general,
in touch?
we had like normal sister bickering growing up, but in general,
That's
as,
my top.
yeah.
I know. I had sisters. Not that they wore my clothes,
Well,
but
we were so
I could
close
hear my
together.
sisters fighting about
Yeah.
stuff.
And so, but as time's gone on, we've become really good friends now, and we kind of had to relearn who each other is like as an adult. And so, because you kind of tend to remember the person as like a child, so you're like, okay, you're not the same. And with me living farther, we just had to.
Does she
work
come
on
and
it.
visit and you guys hang out?
Oh yeah, and our
Yeah.
dogs, we both have dogs, and we call them cousins. So.
Yeah, I noticed you took. I've got 2 dogs, and it
Yes.
was like you automatic friends.
Oh yeah,
And I think the
animal.
dogs know. There's something about it's like the dog goes, "Oh, that's a dog, mom."
Yeah, any animal, just like I'm all about it.
Yeah, and a rescue. One of ours is a rescue, so you can't ask
Mine
for anything
too.
better than that. I know, isn't it so cool?
Yeah,
It's very
she's
cool.
the best dog I've ever.
Who takes care of the animals while you're out doing the radio
They're-
tour and getting your music on the radio?
It really depends. Sometimes my friends will watch them,
Mm-hmm.
but this time my friends were all out of town because they're musicians or in the music world. So I actually took them to their favorite daycare, and so they're playing with a bunch of other dogs right now and having a blast without me. So when I go pick them up, they're excited to come home, but it's like they have a blast while they're there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. There's a lot going on in your world.
Mm-hmm.
There is. You're on your 3rd song on the radio. Is that
Yes.
right? Yep. And that's what we opened up
Yes,
with, and I'll
it's
play it
last
again
time.
here in a little bit. And wow, that's pretty cool.
And
3
we
songs
just
on
found
the
out
radio.
today
Yes. Give me the good news.
that we're charting at, I think, hold on, 43.
See, if you're that high up on the chart, maybe our viewers don't know, the chart has what 200. I mean,
It's
it's way. I mean, there's a long
Yeah, and
list.
and there's only so
but to
like,
be at 43 is
because
fabulous.
you're surrounded by like the top people, and so you're just like, it's because of radio stations that give you a chance that even is a possibility at all. But it's a slow moving game, but as long as you're moving forward,
Patience.
I'm just happy to be on
and
it.
don't
so.
let it get you down.
No,
Always look ahead.
you have to think about the people that aren't on it, and just no matter where you're at, you're still on it. So
Have you ever played with somebody and been like, oh shit, that's so and so, or holy crap, that's, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and
I
get really nervous.
Yes. Well, first, Yes, in two different ways. So I remember the very first time I was playing a writer's round, and Sam Tate who's a famous writer. He was in there, and he was singing one of his songs, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's actually him. Like the very first year I moved to Nashville, and so it was kind of like a little weird to just be at a normal writer's round, and you go in and there's just these people here. But recently, I was singing at a place called Live Oak, and Chris Young and Lee Bryce and them hang out there a lot. And so I actually, Chris Young was standing there, and I was trying to pretend like I didn't know, like, or notice. And I'm just like, okay, well, this is fun.
Yeah,
I'm
like, oh no.
But I was actually, I take challenges like that, or I take things like that really well in circumstances. I'm like, all right, challenge accepted. Let's do this.
No, exactly. And that's a great attitude.
Yeah, because I mean, you might as well. And so, and to be honest, in Nashville, you start to realize it kind of takes the magic away a little bit, because you're around people so much that you realize everyone's just super normal, and you kind of just become immune to like running into people, the craziness of it.
Somebody's asking if you know Jimmy Connor.
The name sounds familiar, but
Caitlin, Megan is asking, Caitlin, do you know Jimmy Connor?
The name sounds familiar, but not.
I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of Jimmys that I know, but I don't know Jimmy Connor off the top of my head.
No, the thing is, there's so many people in Nashville.
Oh, it's insane.
You know, it's crazy.
I might know them. I would just
Jimmy.
need a face to the name.
You know, it's like it's like that with what I do in the radio business, and then of course with what you do.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty good with names for the most part. It's just when you're meeting a lot of other artists and stuff, it's easy to, like, if you've met a bunch of people, get certain people. And then you see their face and you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I've known you for like forever. And they do the same to you.
It is.
I don't take it offensively, but.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get it. You have such a great attitude. And
thanks.
you know, you've got that onward, upward, keep moving forward. Doesn't matter. You'll tackle whatever you come across.
Yeah.
Can I ask, did you play sports?
I did. Well, I played soccer my senior year, but I was in cheerleading actually.
Okay, it's still a
4 years.
sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think it's a sport, but
It is.
You're constantly lifting people and doing
Like,
stuff.
you know, you're dancing, you're cheerleading, you're doing all that. It's a workout. The reason I ask is there's a lot of companies that look for people that have the ambition like you do. And a lot of those people, my daughter was one of those, really big into sports.
Yeah.
And she got a great job. They pursue certain people with certain attitudes. And you have that attitude. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
You know, being in Nashville, I mean, there's thousands of people that want to make it big.
Yeah.
Thousands. Everybody goes to Nashville thinking they're going to hit it overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. And correct me if I'm wrong, there's maybe 1,000 better than you.
Oh yeah,
and there's probably thousands that aren't as good as you.
You kind of have to get to the point where you realize that you almost take that out of your mind, because if you don't, it's going to drive you insane. And that's just in life in general, because there's always going to be somebody better than you and somebody that's working a little bit harder or doing something. So, but if you surround yourself around those people that are where you want to be,
love that attitude.
You actually end up rising to where they're at. And so it's one of those things where you could stand there and be scared of everything, but nothing good really comes out of staying in your comfort zone. So everything I've done that's been amazing, I was a little bit nervous about at first and just did it anyways somehow.
It's funny because as I was asking you, Virgil is watching and he says, can you ask her what her motivation is and what drives her?
Yeah.
So there you go.
I feel like it's an inner, ever since I was little, it's definitely just, you have to really love what you're doing and be in it for the right reasons. Because if you're not, like for me, I can't not write music and I can't not sing. Like my friends get annoyed with me because I'll sing on my way to the store. I'll sing on my way to the bathroom. Like I sing everywhere as I'm cooking food. You sing as you're doing anything. And it's just one of those things where like, if I didn't have it, if I wasn't in Nashville, I'd still be doing it. And so, it's just, you have to really love it.
There you go. Just put it out in the open because there's certain guys that are like texting and they say, hey, Skip, is she married?
No. Nope. You can tell by the songs that are on my CD.
I know. And we'll talk about that. I have one of those bouncing around here.
Yeah. No, not.
Yeah. Tell us about the songs on the CD. First of all, it's right behind you if you want to grab it.
I know them. It's not that I don't know them.
No, exactly. But we were talking about this earlier on the air.
This is it,
yeah. Virgil's saying he loves what you do. So that's
thank you.
Very cool. Yeah. So
that's
the CD, by the way. And you can, if you want to get a copy of that image, you can go online and buy it.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
It's
And
at
please do.
www.KatlynLoweOfficial.com. So
Yep. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the, you can see what the Facebook looks
Yeah.
like. I've got your
Nice.
name down there, who you
Yeah, 'cause the
are, and
spelling's
your
all-
website.
Yeah.
They forgot to put the E in Katlyn.
yeah, it's you can take that up with
your mom
Shelly
and
and
dad.
Chuck. Yeah.
I'll give Chuck a call later.
Yeah, I think it was his fault actually. I think my mom says that.
Somebody
so.
just misspelled it and said, "Oh, we'll just keep it like
Yeah,
that."
no, I
I don't
think
know.
that-
Everybody's different. That's all right.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it sometimes because
Why
it
not?
separates me
Yeah.
from other people, and I
Exactly.
mean I like doing that. Apparently, I have a bright orange car, so.
I love it. Tell us about the CD. What do we
Okay,
got?
so let me start. The title is not a song on the album, and it actually takes like a full circle. I had a little duo in Jacksonville, Florida when I lived
cool.
there,
All right.
and it was myself and this guy named Sean, and he sang harmonies, and we did this little duet, and we actually named our band Chasing Tomorrow, and it was
love that.
because of basically the fact of you can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow's never actually here. It's
Mm-hmm.
always just today. And I tend to live in the future a lot, or catch myself living in the future for music. I'm like, okay, I've got to get this and do this. And then you miss out on what's happening now. And so if you're always chasing tomorrow, it's like you're never really in the moment.
Wow.
Yeah. So I,
She's really thought this out.
yeah. Well, I've had years to do it. So this
awesome.
album's a long time coming.
And
But
that's not just an EP. You may think that's an EP. No,
no.
that's an album.
yeah, there's
That's
10
an
songs
album.
on here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so I have a couple of the songs. There's 2 on here I didn't write, Wild and Steamroller. But
Wait, which one's this one?
that's Wild.
This is wild.
Yeah. Sarah Buxton,
Love Sarah,
and Chris
by the way.
Stefano, and Josh Osborne. Yeah.
She was with you on this.
No,
Helped
they
you write it.
They're the writers on this song.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So
This
I
is-
picked this one. Yeah.
This is wild.
Gotta be you, 'cause everybody else is taken.
God, you got such a great voice.
And I know that you've been told you're not allowed to break the mold. But at the
We need
end,
more of that on country radio.
More of the positive, or just the.
Well, just having a female voice.
Yeah.
Having, a great female artist. I know we have a few of those, but
yeah.
I know there's a lot more.
Oh, there's a ton.
And they just need to be seen and heard.
Yeah, and I think it's important to have like some positive songs that aren't just about. I mean, I have a ton about relationships on here, but it's important to have.
Wait, what was the one we were talking about earlier today?
Overrated?
Overrated.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
Yeah. There's got to be more to that
Oh,
that
there-
you're not telling us.
No, overrated was okay. So
About that guy with the
overrated
ego.
news for you and last time are all about the same relationship. That's a secret you guys know that nobody else
so
knows.
this is a relationship that you had with somebody.
I was in a
And
relationship.
you know
with
what? But
someone.
here,
And I'll say it started out with overrated, went into news for you, and then, then came to last time.
oh my God, I love your attitude. This is so awesome. As a matter of fact, somebody just said you have great pipes. Wow, I dig that. I
Thank
just
you.
Played a little bit of that. So make sure, if you like it, Jeremy, if you like it, please jump online and check her out online.
Yes, please
at,
do.
of course, Katlyn Lowe Official.
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah.
Official. Got to be
Official.
official. Are
Well-
you having that issue with the online that somebody like pretends
Someone-
they're you?
No, someone took my website when I moved to Nashville.
What?
And I was actually like, I
How
knew
can
this
somebody
person.
take your website?
They bought the domain name.
Why'd you let it go?
I didn't. They bought it before I did.
Oh,
Because when
I
you
got
move to
you.
Nashville, you
I
don't think
gotcha.
about. I think I
Right.
was under Katlyn Lowe Music at first.
Yeah.
And so then I wanted to get just my name, and it was taken. And then there's somebody on Twitter that has, or I just finally got my name on Twitter without anything behind it, which is nice.
Somebody saying, good luck, Katlyn.
Thank
so
you.
that's cool. Yeah, that's Megan. Megan again.
Thanks,
So,
Megan.
yeah. Natalie's watching. Marty's watching. I tell you, we get quite a few. Tim is
Nice.
watching. Gary, Jeremy, Mr. Stephen Roberts
Awesome.
is watching. Yeah. So if you got any questions or anything, you
Yeah.
can just leave a comment and
Feel
as long
free.
as
I'm for the most part, if it's a reasonable question, I'll answer it.
be careful. Be careful.
If
So-
not, I'll have a really sarcastic comment to come back with.
So give me an average, give me a normal day. And is there a normal day?
No.
What's, I know really. What's a typical day in Nashville in your life? What is it like?
It
you
changes
get up and what do you
from-
do?
Okay, it changes because obviously I start with my dogs. I take
Right,
the
right.
normal life stuff, the dog mom stuff. But normally I either have a co-write or I'll be doing something in the studio, or I'll be doing normal life things like everybody does, like grocery shopping, stuff like that. But most of the week I have co-writes recently. And so they'd come in like...
Explain what a co-write is.
Okay, yeah. So before I moved to Nashville, I didn't write with other people. I wrote all by myself. Or I would work with like a producer who would put music to songs and help me with that. But I never really sat down in a room and wrote with someone. And so co-writes in Nashville and other places, it's basically, I call it like blind dating, because if you don't already know the person, it's extremely awkward at first, because you have to break down every guard up that you have in order to write a good song. So you spend a few minutes talking to this person you've never met, or you met briefly at a bar or somewhere. And then after that, you just kind of, I don't even know. It's so crazy to me how it goes from, hey, here's our idea for this hook, into, oh, wait, 3 hours later or 2 hours later, we have a complete song.
That's amazing.
And it's
that
just,
is always amazing.
Even listening to any of these, I'm like, oh, wait, to think of where these started, they had little voice memos in my phone.
I found out today, I love going to the writers' nights, and they have a writers' round at the seminar, the meetings we're going to next week. And Garth is going to be there.
Nice.
Which is very, very cool.
Yeah.
But you hear the stories behind the songs.
That's my favorite part.
It is. And from the guys that wrote those songs, not necessarily the artist, but the guys that wrote those songs.
Yeah.
And you have no idea. You'll go, oh my God, he wrote that?
And a lot of times, the people's voice that wrote it is just amazing. Like Brett James has an amazing voice.
I love Brett James.
So good.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's just, there's so many people in town that are just insanely talented.
Is there somebody you really enjoy writing with? Do you, like somebody that, that you would go in a second if they called and say, hey, I need you to come over. I got some ideas. Let's write.
I have a couple new people that I've been writing with, but I actually really like writing with Justina, who's on 3 of these songs in here.
She's the chick with the attitude.
Yeah, she has some sass to her. And
I love it.
So, and then I actually have a song on here. Sean, who played guitar with me on the radio this morning.
Yeah.
She, or earlier today, she basically, her and I wrote Tourist. And so she's been on this radio tour with me, and I insisted upon her singing backup for the song because we wrote it together.
The harmonies today in the studio, if you heard the interview, it was fabulous.
Thank you.
Her voice.
Yeah, her voice is insane. So
together, wow.
Yeah, and so we realized that we clicked really well and balanced each other out. So I like writing with her a lot because she's more of an Americana artist, and so I get almost a different songwriting vibe. So I tend to now cast for different song ideas. So
somebody just commented, I love the way she wears one earphone.
It's a music thing.
No, it is. And as a matter of fact, I know who this guy is. Yeah. He worked radio for a while, and he goes, that's how I rolled.
Yeah.
So, and I've done that too in the past. If I'm on the air, sometimes I leave one ear open.
Yeah, I don't.
Here I put them both on.
Yeah, I got used to doing it, and so even here I take it off.
I have no idea. I just
like it.
Yeah, I know. This thing's, what I do here is pretty cool.
It is.
This is
a cool setup we have down here.
It is. And all the artists that come through, if I know somebody's in town, more than likely they end up sitting right where you're sitting, and we just chit chat about life.
And these are comfy seats, actually.
Yeah, so. Not bad for $30 a pop. No. You know what I really like about doing something like this? The podcast thing is really big right now. A lot of people listen to podcasts, but you can sit and we can have a conversation. And I want people that listen to me and watch this to know that artists like you are real people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, seriously. And you already said it. You get up in the morning, you walk your dogs, I got to run to the grocery store, or, hey, I'm getting my hair done today, or, you go to the gas station. You do everything that everybody else does. What are you doing? Watch out for Scooch. That's Scooch.
No, I'm more worried about the flag.
Yes, seriously. There you go.
I'm going to set this nicely back.
Yeah. There you go. That's Scooch, by the way. That's the mascot for our team here in Syracuse. That's
okay,
Scooch.
I'm going to have to hold this up because I think
wait,
there we go.
There you go. You got it. That's
Sorry,
good.
guys.
That's good. That's good. This is Tim Tebow.
Oh, is it? Yeah, he was from Jacksonville.
Oh, yep. That's
he spoke at my brother's graduation.
He plays here every year.
Yeah.
He's part of our Syracuse team.
Tebow.
Yeah, Tebow. He's great. You know what? He's an awesome guy, and what he believes in is fabulous. And,
he gave a really good graduation speech.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. His motivation.
Yeah.
His when he gives a motivational speech, it's like you leave there going, wow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now if you could play baseball a little bit, whatever.
I
but
haven't
he's
really
trying.
watched him
He's
to
living.
know.
He's living his dream.
That's the biggest thing. I mean, if you work hard enough at anything and put in the work, I mean, we have some horrible videos of me singing when I was younger, and I thought I was Mariah Carey, and I was clearly not. Nope. And it was in that basement.
Right next to that pole.
Right next to the pole.
Yes, absolutely. Do you ever find yourself like going down the road and you see a sign or you hear somebody say something, you go, damn, I gotta write that down. That
3
should be
times today.
3 times today.
Yes, 3 times today.
Street sign, somebody
Yes.
says something and do you
I
actually
can't
write it down?
at the time
But do
because
you
I'm
put
driving.
it in your phone?
So basically, what I'll do is I'll tell Siri or whoever
Mm-hmm.
the button on my car is. I'll be like, "Hey, put this memo in," or text myself so that I get the text. But earlier today, I actually had Sean, who's with me. I was like, "Oh my gosh, did you see that road sign?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Can I ask what it
Yes.
was? Which
I have to write it first. I'll write it and send it to you guys.
Okay. Was it here local?
It was on the way to here.
So it was on the highway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So. Yeah, I'm excited. I'll write it and then I'll send it a message or on the
that's all.
Facebook. I'll be
That's
like,
all. We
I wrote it,
probably-
guys.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. I love it. And that's how you get your ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Not only from your real life experiences, but
Well, and
you
then
see
you can
things and-
also take an idea that you got from like a road sign, for instance, and you can turn that into a life story. So it's like, I mean, there's so many things. The song Tourist started with me making a vlog with one of my producers. And we were like, oh, let's be a tourist in this town. Even though we live in Nashville, we were just jokingly being tourists for the day, which is fun. And I was like, oh my gosh, tourist in my hometown. And that led to the song.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How about Skip Happens?
Skip Happens is amazing.
I don't know. if
That
we're ever
should
gonna
be-
get it.
that
I
could
don't
be a
know.
song.
I don't know. Well,
I could see someone writing that.
I want to get yeah, I have the mugs, and you're welcome to take a couple of those with you. And all the artists take them whenever they're here, and I'll bring some
you.
with me next week to Nashville. So,
Yeah.
but
Because we'll see each other next week.
yeah, I'm sure.
We're just going to
Hey,
be hanging out so
You know what?
much.
I'm going to see if you remember my name.
It's not very hard.
No, I guess
I'm going
it's
to
not.
skip to next week
Yeah,
and
how many-
remember your name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, how many skips do you know?
None.
Point.
Yeah, exactly.
Point.
Well, I remember everybody I met last year, too. So it's like,
Really?
yeah. So,
And you were on a radio tour, and
yeah, I remember people because I try to I go over and I'll post stuff about the pictures and stuff, and I'll just try to make sure.
Now, you don't have to say names. You don't even have to say where you were.
Oh,
Okay? Because
Okay.
I don't want, who knows who's watching this, but were there ever any really strange, like you walked into a radio station and you just kind of went, okay, I don't want to be here?
actually, no.
No?
I've had some really hilarious ones.
Okay.
It's more of funny things where like you'll just walk in and the interview goes nothing like you thought it was going to. It's just basically hanging out the entire time, which is
That's the best.
That's the best.
What did I
because-
say to you
yeah.
today when you came in?
You're like, we're just hanging out and
We're just going to hang out and
sit
have
back.
a conversation.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing here tonight.
I feel like those get the best interviews, to be honest, because then someone can just be themselves and
See, and it goes back to what I said just a few minutes ago. I believe in showing everybody that you're a real person.
yeah.
My job is to be on the radio. Your job is you sing songs.
Yes.
I mean, everybody has jobs. Maybe somebody else is a truck driver. Somebody else is a paramedic. Somebody does this.
Oh yeah.
We all have jobs.
All really hard jobs.
But you know what makes our hard jobs easier? Songs like yours
Thanks.
on the radio. And
Yeah.
that's what, if it wasn't for artists like you, of course, we wouldn't have jobs. And people,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your music tells a story, whether
Yeah.
it's you or any country artist. It's
Well,
just fabulous.
Yeah, and that's the reason I got into country music in the first place was because I wanted to be able to sing about whatever I
Mhm.
wanted to.
Mhm.
And in country, you can kind of touch on anything. And so I also am very driven by lyrics. And
Mhm.
so I
Mhm.
focus a lot on those. And some people are more focused on melodies and not so much about the lyrics, but I'm more lyrics and then the melody comes to me.
Very cool.
So
Very cool. Is there any particular song out there right now that you listen to the lyrics that it's something that you're like, wow, I wish I had that,
I wish I had that song or wrote it.
or wish I wrote it, or
Yeah, Ashley McBride has a song called Girl Going Nowhere.
oh my God,
And she has some lines in that song that it's like basically someone's supportive until they're not. That's not the words. But it's like, oh, make sure everybody knows that
I love her. There's something about her that's, we don't get enough of Ashley McBride.
Yeah.
We need more, and her album is fabulous.
oh, yeah.
And it's wow. And I saw her in concert not too long ago.
I just saw her at
It's like,
the
wow.
Ryman for
Yeah.
some award show or something.
Have you been on the Ryman
Have I
stage?
been on
Have
it
you
yet? No.
performed on the stage? No.
Not yet. I'm hoping this year would be nice.
Isn't that cool? Get up there in that circle.
Oh yeah, I've walked behind the scene tours, and I've stood on the stage. I like to say I've sang at the Ryman because I sang out front of it on the stairs. So there's that.
What do you mean out? Wait a minute. What do you mean out front on the stairs?
Yeah, we always.
No, we're talking about the original Ryman, the one right down on the hill.
You can sing out. Okay. You can sing on any street in Nashville, and so I always joke. I'm like, when I first moved to town, I would stand on the stairs at the front. I'd be like, I sang at the Ryman.
No, exactly. Keith Urban, true story, and I don't know if he still does this, but he would throw a wig on, grab a guitar, and go stand on a corner somewhere, and
that would not surprise me.
Somebody, and nobody would have any idea that it was Keith Urban.
I don't know how you wouldn't know his voice though. Like, how would you camouflage that?
He's so good at what he does. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet you he changes it.
Yeah. He's such a genuine person because I was on a red carpet thing one time, like just when I first moved to town, and one of my friends, I had to miss their wedding. And so I got him, I was like, hey, my friend's a big fan of yours. Can you say congratulations to them? And so he's like, congratulations to Parker and Abby on a wonderful life. And I'm like, that is just amazing. So I sent it to her, and she's like screaming at her office. It was awesome.
That's, all right. Somebody's asking, what kind of car do you drive?
Oh, I just got a new one. I was driving a Kia Soul, which is the hamster car.
Oh, the little hamster car. Yeah, those are cute though.
Yeah, it had lights in it. But no, it just died. So I just got a Jeep
They're not
Compass.
that old.
No, it had some issues with it. And so it didn't die technically. It just started having a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So I got a Jeep Compass.
Nice.
Trailhawk is the type of it. So it's sportier. And it's, when I say bright orange, it's called Spitfire Orange. So it's awesome.
Black rims?
It stands out. It has, and it has black, like a black, not a stripe. I don't want to sound like a racer or something, but it has like a black type of stripe.
Right. No, I get it. And I love the black rims. I'm driving the Explorer, and I have the black rims, and I love those.
Yeah, I wanted the 4Runner or a truck, but I couldn't afford it.
Oh my
now,
God!
So.
Yeah, I know they're very
that, and with how much I drive, like I'm leasing this car, so
yeah, I get you. And whereabouts in Nashville do you live?
So my license, I'm just kidding. I drive an orange car.
No,
I'm just kidding. Southwest Nashville.
Do you leave the keys in the car?
Yeah, exactly. No, I live in West Nashville.
That's cool. So you're close to downtown.
Yeah.
And do you go down like on Broadway at all? Do you like to hang out? And the reason I ask is, to me, because I've been going quite a while, I obviously I do not live there.
Right.
I do like to visit, and I go to meetings there. It's cool to go down, maybe have a beer or two somewhere, but I don't hang out on Broadway.
No.
And that's where a lot of tourists go. And
which there's nothing wrong with that.
No, don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with that.
When you sing and stuff, it's really hard to scream over people in the bars, and there's constant music going on. And so you're going in there, and there's constant drinking and all of that. And it's just like a constant party. And so I will go more to like Demumbrium area.
Right.
And hang out in Midtown where there's more of the local people.
Yeah, some of the really nice places, we're talking, some of the upper end.
I like the...
And I can't think of what I...
I was like, the writers' rounds in the places I go to are over by... it's like Live Oak and
go to the Tin Roof.
Yeah, I go to the one on Demumbrium though. I don't go to the downtown one as much.
No, I know where you're talking.
Yeah, and then there's Doghouse Saloon, and those to me over that area has a lot of the really good songwriters rounds, and so you'll get a lot of the people that have publishing deals and stuff that'll just come in. Like Luke Combs came in there one day when I was just sitting. I was like, oh hey, that's Luke. It's just like, oh, they just come in. So it's people that you see
right
on the radio or hear on the radio. So,
but you don't think anything of it. You may go to a Kroger, grocery store, and
most likely Whole Foods.
That's Tim over there getting what's the store?
Most likely it's Whole Foods, or it's like Kroger's great too, but I tend to run into
Kroger,
people.
Right?
Yeah.
Kroger.
I tend to run into more people at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's is awesome. We got one here.
They just built another one, so it's finally bigger.
That's very, very, very cool.
Yeah.
And how often do you get up on Music Row? Every day? Never?
No, at least 3 to 4 times a week.
You go around the circle?
Yeah, I go around the naked statues. You set me up for that one.
I know, I did.
If you've never been to Nashville, there's these statues that are naked. So, I mean, there's no way around saying that. They
And
just
I'm
are.
surprised that, well, I guess they're never going to take them down now.
I hope
mean,
not, because they're doing a lot to Nashville right now, and there's some of the history that I just really hope stays there.
Yeah.
Like the AT&T building we mentioned.
Yeah, the Batman building.
That needs to stay there.
It's always been known as the Batman
It
building.
is the Batman building, but I figured a lot of people might not know it. So it looks like Batman. So that's what it's known as. But with them changing the skyline so much, they have to keep that.
You know, you mentioned changing the skyline. There's hotels being torn down and new ones being built. There's cranes everywhere. I mean, it's been like that for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's just, Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, there is a Piggly Wiggly, yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's over on West End, I think. There's one.
But you go to Whole Foods.
Well, no, I don't go to Whole Foods.
I don't know why I'm asking. Where do you grocery shop?
Yeah, no, I
Where
go
do you
to
get your
Kroger.
gas?
I go to Kroger, and I also do shipped orders, which not to promote shipped, but I do it because it's easier when I'm coming home from like a long day or something to just have someone deliver them sometimes. Because a lot of times you'll go to the grocery store and there'll be like people hacking all over the place, and I'm like, I don't really want to get my food. I don't want to see it. Like just
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah, it's like you see someone coughing in their hands, and then they're like grabbing the food, and I'm like, oh, can't.
Yeah, somebody's hacking into their hand and they reach in and grab a whatever.
Yeah. So, but no, I just I mainly shop at Kroger unless I need like fruits and vegetables, and I'll tend to go to Publix.
Somebody says, do you play any instruments?
Yes, I play guitar, and I taught myself enough of piano to play and write with it, but I would not by any means say that I play piano.
But you've been doing the guitar for a long time.
Yeah, I've been playing on and off for years.
What about do you have like your own band? You have a bunch of guys you normally play with?
I have one in Florida that I had put together for a few gigs, and they're all a bunch of friends of mine, super talented. And so I'm about to start auditioning people for more of the East Coast gigs that can travel. Because the problem I had with the local band I was using, even though they're all musicians, they all have their own careers going on. And so they have to tour on their own. And so they can't just up and drop everything to go on tour with me. So it's one of those things where I have to find people that can do that.
Yeah, and that's tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough job getting the right people and people that actually mesh.
People that vibe together for sure. And I'm not about I'm better than you, you're better than me, like people trying to show people up. It's like we're all a team if we're on a band. So it's like you have your minute to shine, you have yours, I have mine. It's like let's work as a team and make it the best entertainment for people.
You can see here tonight we're talking to Katlyn Lowe, Nashville recording artist, actually in the man cave. At Skip Happens. I know. You're gone.
Although we shouldn't call it a man cave because I would totally decorate my house like this.
Yeah, well, I don't know. What do you see as you came down the stairs? But there's a thing. Well, you can't see it from this angle, but it says man cave up there.
Oh, does it?
And I bought that. And I put it up. My wife got really upset at me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Why?
Because then it's like it's you and not hers. It's yours and not hers. It's just it's like a open thing. It's just
really?
a door.
I shouldn't have done it.
You can put up there man cave and then woman cave on the other side, or she shed. she shed.
Yeah. It burned down.
Yeah, I know. They have insurance.
Yeah.
I've seen that commercial.
God, I think we all have. Have you ever gone to like some of we've got Florida Georgia Line has a restaurant now. Luke Bryan's got his restaurant. Yeah. Have you ever been to those places?
Yeah.
Loretta Lynn has hers.
I've been to all of them.
Yeah. And what did you think?
I mean, they're cool. I like them. Jason Aldean's is cool. A lot of the rooftop. Is
that the newest? Jason, I think that's one of the new ones.
I don't know which one's the newest, if I'm being straight up honest. I don't know. I think it's one of the newer ones. I think, was that or Luke's first? I don't know, but they're right next to each other. So it's like, there's a joke going around with, it's like, where can you go to find Florida Georgia Line living across the street from Jason Aldean, who lives next door to Luke? And it's like downtown on Broadway.
Got to get somebody that looks like somebody. Doesn't Kid Rock?
Yeah, Kid Rock's was, I think, the newer one.
And I think I saw something on Facebook that somebody looked just like Kid Rock, and they went to that.
Doesn't surprise me.
And just
yeah, people
crazy.
do that a lot. They'll try to like look like someone.
The wannabes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I went to a Zac Brown concert once, and there was a guy there that looked just like Zac Brown.
Oh,
He had the beard, he had the cap, he had, had that look, and everybody thought they're like running up trying to get a picture. Oh my God, he's walking around. Oh my God,
You're like, but why would
seriously,
why would he be walking around?
Why?
Although that would be really funny to do. People would be like, "Is it really? No, it's not. Yeah, it is." You wouldn't actually know.
How about karaoke? Have you ever walked in and done a little karaoke?
I do karaoke all the time.
And like do your own song and nobody knows?
They do. No, I don't do that. I do really funny songs.
I did it with Craig. Well, I didn't, but we took Craig Morgan out one night. We went and he sang one of his songs.
Yeah, that would
and
be
of course
fun.
they're like, well, that's not as good as the original by
Oh my
Craig
gosh,
Morgan.
that's
And
so
blah blah blah. We're like laughing our butts off.
No, I
Going,
do.
Yeah, it's Craig Morgan.
I do songs that you wouldn't expect me to do, like Gangster's Paradise.
Holy
and,
cow.
Yeah, I rap that one and have someone sing the part. And
Are
then
you into do you enjoy the rap?
I enjoy the challenge of doing it.
Did you tell me you went to a Post Malone? Was it you? Or
No, but I
somebody
do
else?
like Post Malone.
Okay, he's from this area.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Nice.
which
It's
is
funny
cool.
because my dad wouldn't be normally into that type of music, but my dad actually just recently really likes Post Malone. So, yeah. But yeah, no, I go to karaoke all the time whenever I can convince my friends to go, but people don't really like to go to karaoke for some reason if they don't sing at all. So
They're trying to get me to go next week when I'm in Nashville. A bunch
go to
of
the Wild Beaver Saloon.
that might I'd have to look and see
on
where
Commerce,
RJ
right?
is taking us. But
Oh, okay.
I'll have
It's
to
the
take a
best
look.
sound system,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
See, I can't. I don't know. I can do this and I'm fine,
Yeah.
but I can't sing.
Okay, well, if you can't sing, you could do David Allan Coe. It's easy to karaoke that and Johnny
Okay.
Cash. Just because you could sing them and get your way through. A couple of my friends have done that.
Johnny Cash's got a birthday coming up,
Oh, yeah.
26th of February.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, that's my mom's birthday.
Nah? No, am I wrong? I'll have to
I
look
was
that
like,
up.
yeah, we should. That's worth a Google for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, that's something I say when.
No, it's worth a go. Go ahead,
Should I
grab your
Google
phone.
it?
Yeah, go ahead, look that up.
I want to
look
look
that up.
Someone probably knows. If you
Yeah,
know,
if you
can let
know.
us know. But yeah, no, that's my mom's birthday.
Somebody said, "Oh snap, let's hear her rap if she doesn't." mind." Oh,
no,
I
the
love
funny
it.
part is I've known Gangster's Paradise songs since I was like 6.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just have. There's a movie called Dangerous Minds that's out there, and it's a really good movie if you haven't seen it. Sad but good, and that's in that movie.
I love it. I love it. So, I mean, you go out and you don't really sing the country stuff. You kind of get into the
I do
rap
a mixture.
and the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying country's not, that didn't come out right.
I know
But
what you meant.
country's awesome, but there's also other things that we've grown up listening to, and it brings back a lot of memories, and it's a whole lot of fun. How do your
Thank you,
parents
Ezra.
feel about what you're doing? They support you 100%.
Oh yeah, they're super supportive and always have been. But they're very big on if you're going to do something and you're going to put your mind to it, give it everything that you have.
Absolutely.
And so
I would be the same way.
they're not the type of parents that have always been like, they've been extremely supportive, but they don't sugarcoat. So they're not the type, they're like, oh my gosh, you're the best thing that's ever happened to music. They're like, hey, you might not be prepared for that song. Let's work a little bit harder at it. Or maybe you should change up this thing. And so it's just kind of challenges me to constantly keep moving forward and building on my craft.
Do you ever kind of put something together and then play it for like your parents or your sister and they go, oh, that sucks?
My dad all the time.
But you know what? He's probably
No,
doing that for a reason.
He does. No, but the funny thing is
I
he
get
doesn't
it.
know the terminology. And if he's watching, Dad, we know this. The most supportive father you'll ever meet, but he
That is
doesn't
so
know the
awesome.
exact terminology. And so we've had to come up with like an understanding of what he's trying to tell me is missing in the song. So he'll say something sounds flat or something, and what he really means is it sounds like monotoned, like it doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
And so I've had to, over the years, just understand what he's trying to say
Get
to
his
me.
lingo.
Yeah. And so I just need to create like a little book that's like, this is what he's trying to say. And then my mom kind of, she'll tell me the truth, but in like a more, I liked it.
honey, that
wasn't
sounds
that
good,
wasn't
but-
as good as the other one you sent me, but it's like, but when I do something right, they're the first to be like, oh my gosh, that was amazing.
What just a great feeling to know. It doesn't happen to a lot of people like that.
Well, and it sets
And
you up,
when you
though.
said you were moving to Nashville, they were like,
Oh, yeah.
go.
Yeah, they
You
were
need to do
super.
this.
They helped me move my stuff. They were super supportive and have been since. And even when because I act super positive now, but there have been plenty of down moments where I've been upset and in tears and like, why am I doing this? Should I keep doing this? And I've had to call my parents and be like, and they're like, this is why you started it. This is what you want to do. And you just have to get through this one little rough patch and you'll be fine. And so it's nice to have them that I can call in.
Now, how does it work for an artist like you, an independent artist? You've had 3 songs on the radio. You're on
Yeah.
your 3rd now. To get the music played on the radio, you go through a promoter,
Yeah.
a company, right? Which is not cheap.
No.
No.
So
But what they promise you that they will talk to so many radio stations, they will push your product, so to speak.
And a lot of things that people don't understand is in music in general, and somebody pays for something somewhere. It's like if you are signed to a major label, the label's still paying for something. So it's like you might not be right now, but the label's still paying for something. So it's like as an independent artist, you do have to kind of front a little bit of what you're doing. But the good thing is you own everything you're doing. So like, for instance, this product right here, I own everything on it. It's like I own the masters to it. And without getting into like the political stuff.
Right.
There have been some people that don't own their music and have had some issues with
and
that.
We've heard about that. And of course, being in the business, you read the stories and it just, sometimes it doesn't end well.
No, it doesn't. And so, I mean, it's been great to at least have this product where, I mean, everybody wants to get to the point where they're doing well and super successful and what they're at, but you don't want to give up who you are as a person or be in it for the wrong reasons. And so I've been very sure to stay true to kind of who I am, or do my best to at least.
That's awesome. It's like you own all these, and that's the advantage of being
I own the
an
masters.
independent
I own the masters to all of them. I mean, clearly I didn't write Wild or Steamroller,
but still.
Yeah, I own the masters to everything. So that's the good part about it. So.
And I want you to go online. All right, Katlyn Lowe official.
Yeah, I mean, you can Google Katlyn Lowe; it'll come up. But
there you go. And there's no E.
Yeah, there is at the end of Lowe, but no I's or E's.
I almost said Lau.
Yeah,
and people call you Katlyn Lowe.
So I get Katlyn all the time. I get Katlyn Lowe. I get Lowe. It's like you get all of the above. So or K-Lo, or I get K. I sign everything KL normally. Like when I'm typing things, it's just easier.
I don't blame you. That's the way to do it. This has been pretty cool chatting with you tonight.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Finding out a lot about you and what it's like to be in your shoes and putting out music and getting it played on the radio. Songs like this. Oh, wait, I should... hang on a minute. No, it's not. We'll wait a couple of minutes. And it's supposed to stop. I don't know. I must have done something wrong because I want to play the latest single that we started out with last time. Yeah. Did you hear that on the radio today?
I did. I recorded the whole. I recorded it. So, well,
because you told me a story earlier today that the first time you heard your song on the radio, you were driving, but you had to stop, and I remember watching the video on Facebook.
I was on a radio tour, actually, because I was telling you, it was really hard to actually plan to be, you don't know when your song's getting played or who's playing it when. They say they are, but you just never know when they're doing it. And so to be in the car, in the right place, at the right time, at the exact moment that they're playing it is very rare. And so I was leaving a radio tour and someone had called during their request hour and requested the song like soon after I left. And so they waited a couple hours. And we were on our way almost to the next county or city or something, and to where we were going to lose that station, just almost to the border. And so it came on, and I'm like going super slow down this like country road, and I'm trying to listen to it. I'm like dancing in the car and everything. And then this car comes up behind me, and I'm like, no, you've got to go. I can't go anywhere. I'm like stopped at a stop sign. I'm like,
that's what I thought. I watched the video. I go, she's just sitting there.
I couldn't move forward anymore because it started going. And I was like, no, come back. And so I was listening to it, and my friend's videoing me being ridiculous in the seat.
Hey, I don't blame you. I'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah. But it was pretty cool feeling. And anytime you hear it, it's just, especially because I wrote it, it's one of those things that like you dream about it, but you don't think it's actually going to happen, or that it's very surreal until you hear it for yourself.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What a great feeling. Katlyn, let's see if this is... Oh, that's still playing.
That's wild.
You ever put your own music on and just kind of like...
Not for listening purposes.
Get a glass of wine.
But what's funny is my friends do that to mess with me. My friends have heard these songs so many times. Like my friend Brittany, she'll be in the car and she puts it on her playlist, so it helps me get more plays sometimes.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll at least listen to 30 seconds of it, so you get it. It counts. And so we'll be hanging out at her house, and it comes on. I'm like, oh, that's me.
What do you do? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was like, we were in the car driving up, and I'm pointing to Sean, who's not in the room, but she's upstairs. And we were
She's
sitting
in my
yeah.
recliner, by the way.
We were
up
sitting
in
in
the
the car, and I can hear it the minute the first note hits. I'm like, oh, that's me. I turn it immediately. Not because I don't like it. It's just I've heard it so many times.
Right.
The only one that I will keep on, and my family will keep on for the most part, is Tourist, because it's one of our favorites.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So cool. What do you think? I mean, you're working the new single now.
Yeah.
No idea what the next one's going to be yet, right?
It's possible it could be one that's not on there, because I've been constantly writing, and I have 2 new ones that I'm really excited about that could possibly end up being
So there could
singles.
be another album coming out.
Either that or just
An EP
single
or
after
a
single.
single
We don't
after
know. I
single.
keep
Yeah.
writing with people that are amazing, and you get new stuff. So
And here again, being an independent artist, you decide what
yeah.
you're going to put
Well,
out.
it's a collaborative thing with me and my team, but,
But
yeah,
you have
it's-
more of a say.
Yeah, I do have more of a say.
Tell me about your team. Who's on your team?
So actually, my manager is actually Sean's dad.
That's awesome. And we
And
were
s-
talking to Sean. He, you know, she said she's in.
Yeah,
you know, her
she's an
family's
Americana
in,
artist, and her dad
into it.
is my manager.
Very cool.
Jim Delacroce. And so, and then I have the radio team, Tim McFadden, Ann Strasdy, and then
I
Regina.
love Ann
yeah.
and love Regina.
Yeah, there's so many.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so Ann, Regina, Tim, they're just amazing. They keep it going. And then
Love Ann.
yeah.
She is.
They're all like women bosses. They're just amazing.
Yeah,
at
but
what
she
they
is
do.
amazing.
Yeah.
And she came to town once and
Prisman too.
Yep. And Regina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just unbelievable.
it's
But
Amazing.
and Sarasdi came into town and it's like, you know, we're going to go to dinner and talk about things, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't let her pay. I paid. She goes, you know what? She goes, nobody ever does that.
Oh no.
You know, no,
Yeah.
but it's just like, she was just, I said, Ann, seriously?
Yeah.
You're giving me great music. You took the time out of your day to come and see me.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to take care of you. So
That was nice.
ask her about that someday. She's
I will.
so-
I'll see her next. I'll
Yeah,
see
I
her
know.
next
Well,
week. We're gonna be.
I'll see her every day next week, too.
Yeah,
I'm
we're all
sure.
gonna be hanging out next week at CRS, so which
Yeah.
is Country Radio Seminar, by the way.
And it's crazy.
Oh, yeah, it's
And
intense.
have you done the CRS thing before?
Mhm,
Have you
last
bounced
year.
around? Yeah.
Bounced around last year.
It's crazy.
Mhm.
It's crazy. And little inside info, if you've ever thought about going to Nashville and hoping to see the stars, you find out when this country radio
Yeah,
seminar
good
is.
point. Good point.
And you just grab yourself a newspaper and you go sit in the lobby of the Omni.
Nashville scene.
And, yeah, there you go. And you
Is
sit
the-
there and you're going to see anybody that's anybody walk through that lobby, which
Yeah.
is really cool.
You can see
So-
that, or they'll just be chilling over in the areas like the
Bar lines.
Midtown.
Oh, Midtown, yeah.
Midtown area
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
better one.
That's their home.
Now, I'm not saying go chase them down by
No,
any
no,
means,
no,
because
but-
in Nashville, that's the cool thing about it. People don't normally bother anybody.
Right, exactly.
So they could be at their grocery store and no one really bugs them.
Exactly. So, and
So-
it's like that with CRS. I mean, we all do our thing, and hey, how are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that's Garth over there. Hey,
It's like,
you know?
hey,
and I'm not
what's
kidding.
up?
That's how. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, and half the time,
cool.
if they're not in their full makeup and hair, you sometimes don't even know who
You
they
don't
are.
even know who they are.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
And they do
nope.
that on purpose.
And I
most
don't
of the time.
blame them.
No,
I
not
don't
at all.
blame them. Not at all. But now we can play. This is the latest song. All right. It's called Last Time.
Yep.
And I'm gonna play it. Can we play it all the way through?
Yeah.
Sit here and
Jam to it. Yeah, but Justina Kelly and Eddie Gore wrote this with me, so.
there you go.
Came out of nowhere like a freight train running free. Hit me like a wrecking ball, knocked the wind right out of me. Thought everything was fine, but I guess I'll play the fool this time. And I still remember like it was yesterday. Look I saw in your eyes would always be engraved in my mind. Wish I'd known it was gonna be the last time. I would have cared, would have cried, would have fought like hell and tried to make things right.
Weird, I know, but you know.
I would have picked up when you called, I would have listened when you talked about anything at all. If only we could rewind, maybe it wouldn't be the last time.
Love it.
I tried to salvage us from the wreckage that remained. It all happened so fast, but I'll take all the blame. You said I brought out the worst in you for the last time. I would have cared, would have cried, would have fallen
my part. 92.1 The Wolf.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
92.1 The Wolf.
There you go.
That was
Caitlin
Caitlin
Lowe.
Lowe.
Caitlin Lowe. No, that'd be like a easy listening station. Caitlin.
Yeah. Is that yeah.
Soft rock. No,
Yeah.
no.
I
But,
was at a station yesterday. I almost got to do the weather. It would have been really fun.
oh my God, you should. That'd
know.
be awesome.
Yeah.
Was it a morning show?
Yes.
They should have let you do the weather.
Oh, they would have, but the people, she was doing such a good job with it. I wanted her to do it.
But it's always fun
Yeah.
when you being in radio and you can pull somebody else in that's normally not there
Yeah.
and let them do the
I like
do the
to-
weather.
I think that goes along with the whole trying to rap thing. I like to try to
Yeah.
read things really quickly
Yeah?
and like memorize things. So we
Not
did the
me.
news PA Live the other day, and it was I was trying to read the teleprompter just off air. I was like, "Da-da-da," and here's next up is Caitlin. And da-da-da. I was just reading it as it's going down.
I love it. I love it. Do me a favor. Go online. Google Caitlin Lowe.
Yes, please follow on all the social media that I have because that
And,
helps me out.
And that song we just played is her latest single,
Yeah.
which we played today on The Wolf, and you'll hear that a whole lot more. And it's called Last Night.
Last Time. Yeah, we
I'm
have
sorry,
one on there that's
I know-
last night,
I know,
too.
I just glanced at some of the writers on that. Holy cow.
Yeah,
David Ross.
David Ross and Steve O'Brien are
Steve O'Brien. That's
amazing.
huge.
Yeah,
Huge.
they're great.
Huge.
So we wrote that song. That you want to know the funny part? We wrote that the
Big.
day before we cut it, and it was the last addition to the
Isn't
album.
that amazing that can happen that quick and go,
Yeah,
you
we
know,
were
this
like,
is-
hey, this needs to go on there and be number 10.
there you go. And
So.
it's on there as number 10.
Yeah, but if you want to hear new music and stuff from me, though, also follow me on Spotify as well and my social media because I'll post new stuff and keep it updated. So
Cool. You do a great job on social media.
Thanks.
And that's
it's never ending. It's so
no, it is. It's never ending. But that's the way, just
Yeah.
like we do this podcast.
yeah.
You got to be on, all the different platforms, and whether it's Twitter or Instagram or Facebook.
Well, and it gets hard because I'm doing my own because I find it important to be able to talk to people and actually answer people when they message me for the most part as much as I can. And so that's what makes it hard because on radio tours, I have to be like going from one place to the
Yeah,
next. So I have
yeah.
to like think ahead. So
It's hard. It's
Yeah,
hard.
but it's fun.
It's hard. It's fun. Just one, somebody's asking, what did you ever have? Well, let me put it this way. What was your most embarrassing moment to date? Is there something or?
to date, like probably musically, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I covered it up extremely well. I forgot, this is a funny story. I forgot the words to a song, which I don't really ever do. I just pick up lyrics really easily, but I was just frazzled this day. It was a long time ago when I first started singing. But I ended up just mouthing the words so that the sound person thought that the sound went out.
Oh my gosh.
And so it didn't look like I messed up
Smart
the words.
on your part.
And so then when I picked it back up, I was like, then I came back and I'm like, oh, I don't know what happened. So
Oh, I'll have to check that XLR cable. It might be
I was
going
like,
bad.
I don't know where the sound's at.
That's awesome.
So I don't think anybody really knew what actually happened, but now you guys do. So it was a long time ago, but yeah, that was pretty interesting. And then, yeah, just random tripping incidents here or there.
Yeah, I think
I think
almost
everyone.
fell off the stage
I'm
once.
clumsy, so it happens.
Yeah, when the spotlight's on you, and like we do a lot of presents
Yeah.
for different shows, and at night if the spotlight's on you, you can't see what's
No.
in front. And I walked right up to the edge of the stage, and I went to
Oh, yeah.
put another foot forward, and I
Yeah.
went, "Whoa, there's nothing there."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh my God, I almost fell off the stage."
And I don't think people realize that either, that the lights are blinding most of the
And you
artists when they're
can't-
there.
right.
So you can't actually see, depending on the stage that you're on, you can't see the people even in the front or second row.
Very
So
difficult.
it's not like they're actually ignoring or not seeing you. It's that they really can't.
But a good artist like you would definitely make it look like you're still making eye contact.
Oh yeah, and I'm one of those
You
that
know there's people
I'll
that-
move down to where I can see. Like I bend down
Yeah.
and do stuff. So
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. Somebody said you've made a new fan.
Oh, thank you.
Made a new fan here. Is she cool with me dropping her songs while I DJ?
Yeah.
Hey,
Of course.
It's another spin.
Yeah.
Somebody hears it.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. You know what, Caitlin, I want to thank you for coming by tonight.
Thank you for
hanging
having
out.
me.
I
It's
know
been a blast.
You've got to, I believe you're heading up to Watertown.
Yeah.
And just go easy.
We're heading there tonight.
Yeah. It's only about an hour. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
bad
nice.
at all. And get yourself settled in
Yeah,
plenty of
for
time. But
sure.
then you got to be up early to be
We have
Stan.
a 7 a.m. Yeah.
My buddy Stan.
7 or 7:30,
Stop.
but I always get there super early anyway.
James
so.
Pond. James Pond.
It'll be fun. And then, but I want to say thank you guys for tuning in too and listening to us banter on for however long we've been talking.
And you're always welcome to come back. And I know maybe next week I'm taking the podcast with me to Nashville too.
Yeah.
So if you see me talking to people, come on over.
Oh, we'll do.
It's
and if you see me just like looking around, just be like, Katlyn, what's up? And
I don't know what was.
time.
No, it'll be his name is.
No,
oh
it'll
my
be
God.
the other way around. At CRS, that the radio people are the cool ones. It'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. Did I see you last week in studio?
You look familiar.
You were at a podcast. No, I don't. Nope, it wasn't you.
I don't know. What's your
So
name
y'all
again?
need to call him out if he doesn't remember my name next week.
I love it. No, I'm good with that because I believe big time in independent artists.
Yeah.
People trying to live their dream. I will not forget your name.
Thanks.
Appreciate never.
it.
Well,
So.
wait a minute, it's Caitlin?
Yeah,
okay.
Something with
Anyways,
a K.
All right.
Or is it a C? I'm just kidding. Don't confuse anybody.
I love it.
It's
Hey,
Caitlin.
thanks for watching tonight. It's Katlyn Lowe. Jump online. KatlynLoweOfficial.com is the website. And you can go and get the music. And I'll tell you, this girl's got a lot going for her. And I'm very
you.
excited that they sent you my way to chit-chat a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I've had an amazing time. It's been fun.
Yeah, welcome to Syracuse. I know
you.
kind of a day in the Cuse.
Yeah. It's not very often we stay in the same place for a day, so
And the
this is
snow,
great. Yeah,
a little bit of
I
snow.
love the snow.
Really?
We didn't get a lot in Nashville this year, so
Well, you usually don't. You might get a flurry in
we
the
did
city
a couple
close.
of times, yeah. And then, but no, people can't handle it there.
Now we had a great January, and now we had a big storm a few days ago. That's the snow you see now, and then we were supposed to get a little bit last night. We did get a little bit, but I thought we were going to get more. But it was snowing out tonight too. But if you're going north, just go easy, go slow.
Yeah, I will.
Because it's what they call the you get lake effect snow and the snow bands north of Syracuse. Well, you remember growing up in Rochester, probably. What?
I remember the fun parts of snow.
Okay,
I don't remember
there
the
you go.
hard parts
All right.
of snow. I didn't have to shovel it.
It's Katlyn Lowe, everybody, right here, and we're gonna end with this as well. And I'm gonna keep playing it over and over and over. But you know what? I always wrap up my podcast with a little bit of a high five.
Thanks.
So there you go. It's Katlyn Lowe, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. Travel safe, my friend.
Thank you.